Hello and welcome to the Beginner's Tatting video series. Today I got a special event for you. We're going to do cabone rings. We're going to cover these. These are plastic rings you get at the sewing department at the craft stores. And they use them for curtain rings. But we're going to cover these with tatting. And they come in several different sizes. But you can also cover brass rings, these little belt rings, even these little rings like this you get out in the jewelry. You put like a piece of leather on it and hang it. I forget what they're called, but you get them in the jewelry findings department. They're little plastic beads. Some of them are glass, some of them are resin, some are plastic, some are even polymer, made out of polymer clay. And you can get shell. They come in a variety of textures, sizes, and so forth. So today we're going to learn how to cover a ring, any kind of a ring, with tatting. Now I'm going to show you using size 10 Elizabeth thread and a 1-inch cabone ring. Okay, that's what these are called, cabone rings or bone rings. Some places will call them plastic bone rings, but they're in the sewing department. But like I say, you can get a variety and cover half of it with tatting and leave the other half, the pretty ring, and then hang it from a necklace, make a set of earrings. It just opens up a whole new avenue. But today, we're going to do it on this, and then so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to cover this big 3-inch ring with size 3 crochet cotton to show you up close how to get the stitches on there. It's real simple. If you'll remember, we did a split chain video. Well, it's the same principle, okay? The way you work with your thread. All right, now here's what we're going to do. You see I've got a shuttle. It's not connected to anything. There's the tail. Now you want that tail, okay? The reason you want the tail is if you're going to make it for a zipper pull, you need something to attach your ring to attach it to the zipper, okay? Or you can even hide them, and I'm going to show you an easy way to hide this first tail, get it out of your way, okay? And then the second tail, when you come back around and you end your tatting, you just sew it in, okay? Or you can use floss threaders and pull it through. I find that on the rings, sewing it in is a lot easier than using the floss threader because of the arc. It tends to mess up your tatting on your ring. So I prefer to sew in my ends on cabone rings and any ring that I'm doing, okay? But what you want to do is lay your thread right along the side of that ring, okay? And you really want to hold it down with your index finger. You see that? You're going to hold it. Reason is, if it slips, the stitch is out, okay? And you're going to reach down inside that ring, pull that thread up, run your shuttle through, okay? It takes practice to get it right, and you want it to look like this, okay? You've got a loop and your thread's coming through. Pull it up till it's tight on that ring, then pull it down, okay? Can you see that? We've pulled it down, and we're going to pull it through the back side and up. This time we're going to run our shuttle down through that loop, okay? And then just pull it tight and close it. And that is how you do your stitches on the cabone ring. Now I'm not going to show you how to tie that end in on here because you're not going to be able to see it on this video. But that is one double stitch on a cabone ring. Let me zoom in and see if you can get a better view of this. And if you can, great. If not, we'll move on to the brass ring. And that way you can see it. There it is, okay? Now what you end up with is your tail is hooked like in a half-hitch knot, okay? Now if this was still connected to a ball of thread, you wouldn't be able to put it on there and do this. But you can even go so far as to make it simple on the first stitch. And I have done this. It's a little cheat. Pull your loop up there. Hold your tail and your shuttle. Okay? And you want both of them to go through that little loop. Okay, so pull your shuttle through. And now pull your tail through. And you can tighten it down. Watch what I'm doing. Tighten it down. You get the same results, but it puts it on the opposite side. Okay? So it depends on which side of the ring you want your knots to show up on. But that's a simple way to get your first one in, so you don't fight with the tail. But procedure is lay your tail up beside, run the thread behind, reach down, pull your thread up, run your shuttle up through, pull it, lay it down. See how I've got my thread? Pull it down through that hole, shuttle up, shuttle goes down through that loop, pull it tight, okay, and then you've got your knot on there. Alright, now we're going to do it using the size 3 crochet cotton, okay, and we're going to use this 3-inch brass ring. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it. Some people finger tat this. If you don't know how to finger tat, which that's going to be a later video, I will show you how to finger tat. It's real simple for stuff like this. And I'll get a video out on it for those that don't understand how to do it. But, you know, if your ring's big enough, you could run your shuttle through, save yourself some time. But 9 times out of 10, if you're tatting on these very small rings like this, you see there's not a shuttle going to go through that hole. So you need to know how to get your stitches on your ring. Okay, little piece of tidbit here. Let me zoom out some. Okay, when you get these brass rings, now I like making sun catchers out of these. There's a little tag usually over the little lip up here where the two pieces are joined. What I normally do is I take that tag off, and then I get some baby oil, cooking oil, any kind of oily substance, wipe that glue off, and it'll take it right off. Any oil will take off any glue, okay? I even use Skin So Soft to get it off. So there you go, little tidbit for you. But today, we're going to do this using this size 3 crochet cotton, okay? And a crochet hook. Okay, so see, you can even do this like this from the ball. So you don't have to do a shuttle. Get your crochet hook. We've got our thread. We're going to lay our thread right there on our ring. Going to drop our thread down the back side of that ring. Pull it up. You see that loop? See that loop? Let me get it out here. That's where our shuttle is going to go up through. Okay? And you're going to pull, 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 pull till it's tight. Can you see that? I'm getting out of camera shot here. And you're going to pull it down. Lay that thread down. See that? Go up under, pull that thread back up. Drop your shuttle down through that loop. Okay? Pull it up. And there you go. You've got your half hitch knot. Alright, now, here's your trick to tie in that in. I tell you what, I'm going to zoom in. If I can figure out my buttons today. My brain is not working. Okay, see that half hitch knot? Now, we're going to get rid of that tail. See that tail? That's our tail. We're going to get rid of that. Now, once you've got that first knot into place, flip that tail over to the opposite side. Bring your thread, this is the one going to the shuttle, down. Now what you want to grab is that shuttle thread. Leave that tail hanging back here. Now this can get fiddly. Don't lose patience with it. It can get fiddly. But it's an easy way to hide that first tail. Now we just ran our shuttle up through that loop. Okay? And we're going to pull that loop into place. See it? And pull it down. See our tail? Get it in the back. Keep that tail to the back. You can even wrap it around a finger if it gets to where it's in the way. Okay? Now once you get that down, pull that thread through the back side of that hole. Get our little loop. And run our shuttle down through that loop. Once you run the shuttle down through the loop, pull your knot in. Okay? Now as you can see, that did not go through that second part. So you can always loosen it up, grab that tail, pull it back through. Once you get that tail started, hiding it, it sort of kind of follows along, and you don't have to hide it through that many stitches, just a few. A few is all it takes. Okay, and you just adjust. Okay, we're just adjusting here. Alright, and that's how you hide that end. Once you get your stitches in, mush your stitches up there together. Tighten everything up. Like I said, it's fidgety, but it's a neat little way to make earrings, sun catchers, whatever. Now I'm going to show you how to do this with the shuttle. Okay, now this shuttle, granted, does not have a hook on it. Okay, but because we're using this big ring, we can do this. Run that shuttle up through and grab that thread. Now I'm not going to worry about this tail in the back. In fact, I'm going to lay it back there out of my way. Get it going. Okay, now we got it up. Now we pull it tight. Pull it down through. Run our shuttle down like that. And then we just coax our stitches over just like we do in the split chain. Okay, and we're covering that ring. See, I'm pulling that thread to the back, grabbing that thread with my shuttle, pull it over, lay it down. Go through the ring, grab the thread, pull the thread around, tighten everything up. Okay, now we're going to tighten our first half of that double stitch and the second half of that double stitch. And there we go. And then you just keep mushing your stitches together so that none of the ring shows. Okay? Once you get everything tightened up and you get your whole ring covered, then you can cut your end and sew them in. Now, if you want to throw a ring off of here, say you're going to make an earring and you need just a plain 6/6 ring, okay, or a 12 double stitch ring, 10 double stitch, whatever pattern calls for, up here at the top to put your earring clasp to. Here's how you do it. Okay, you got your ring. Now granted, this is a big ring, so it's going to be difficult to work with. Okay, if this was a sun catcher, I would leave an extremely long tail for it to tie my ring to so it can hang. Okay, but we're making a pair of earrings out of this brass ring. I know, inconceivable, but I've seen earrings that big. You go ahead, you make your ring for your tatting your ring. Okay, you put in the first half of that double stitch. When you get that first half in, you tighten it down to that ring. See, I'm tightening it down. Then you come in with that second half. Tighten it down to that ring. Your work is working on the back side. Okay, now we're going to do a 6, let's don't put any picots, let's do 12, or let's do 10 double stitches. Alright, we got 1, we're going to do 2, 3, 4, okay, we're going to have to open that ring up. As you can see, this brass ring can get fiddly trying to do this. But on these smaller rings, you won't have this problem. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we close our ring. Okay? Just close it as you do a normal ring. Now, here's where the fun starts. We go ahead and do our next stitch. Now you can see I've got a little bit of gapsosis here. That's fine if you get that, okay? You can even, work it to where you do a half stitch on one side and a half stitch on the other, and you can pull it down. But working around this ring, it's fine. But normally when you're working with a smaller ring, you won't get this. The reason is because trying to keep this ring out of the way while I'm doing the ring, the two don't work. The ring's bigger than my hand, okay? So I can't keep my stitch up tight. But normally, you'd pull that stitch down to where it would lay right on top, okay? You can adjust. Remember, all this is adjustable, okay? Now, after you get your ring in place, you're going to go down, pull your thread up, your shuttle's in it, okay? Go pull it down the other way, pull your shuttle through, make your first knot, first half of your knot. Now, if you're going to have a mock picot there, which you can make it look like it's part of the element. It's mock picot, okay? Put it in. Lock your stitches down, and you've got your ring on top of your rings, okay? And that's how you do it. It's real simple, okay? Just remember, if you're doing these big brass rings, you're making sun catchers, bracelets, whatever, leave an extremely long tail so you don't have to fidget with the brass ring. Time and patience you can take and use a ring like this off of it, that's fine. But what I do is just leave the two tails long and go from there. Okay? So there it is. You have it. That is how you cover a ring in tatting. First half down, second half up. Grab the center, tighten everything up, and lock her down. And there you go. So that's your lesson for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you to understand how to cover a ring and make beautiful earrings, necklaces. I mean, you can make a necklace, get several different rings, cover them in tatting, okay? And look, you can add them together. Let me get one here that'll show up on camera. Add them together and get an asymmetrical necklace out of it, you see? You could cover some of these smaller ones, make a nice bracelet. And you can cover these, make a pair of earrings, or you could just cover the cabone ring. Make a pair of earrings. You can even connect several as you're going by adding the ring with the picot. So there you have it. And I hope you enjoyed it. And until next class, happy tatting and have a great day. Thank you.